It's a Hot Topics Friday on Jasiri, where the conversations are bold, the takes are honest, and the energy is exactly how Fridays should feel. And we've got some great conversations for you today. There's a content creator asking whether school still makes sense in the age of fast money. A viral celebrity fake news saga that shows just how quickly misinformation spreads online. Singer Simi has a word or two for those who want to ask, how is the daddy after a woman gives birth? And we'll also be touching base on a truly emotional, heartbreaking story as one man fights for justice years after he lost his pregnant wife and 3 children in a building collapse. It's a packed show we have for you today. So without further ado, let us start what we have come to do, because we are young and strong to do the work. If you know, you know. Welcome to Hot Topics Friday on Jasiri. Let's play the Hot Topics montage.
So we're getting into conversations. These conversations, one story at a time, and we don't want to do it alone. As always, you can join the conversation via WhatsApp. The number is +234, because we're international, baby, +234 705 500 1212. Now, our first story is one that will leave you emotional. A building collapse in the Magodo axis of Lagos State in 2019 left one man grieving the loss of his pregnant wife and 3 children. This story has resurfaced following a bid to garner support for the only survivor of the incident, as he seeks medical and legal support from the state government and the other relevant authorities. Now, in this special report, News Central's special correspondent on investigative journalism, Marshal Anthony Onoye, reports that the lone survivor, Emmanuel Otache, who is left with a physical deformity from the accident, is seeking to get justice for the death of his family.
Meet 47 years old Emmanuel Otache.
My name is Emmanuel Otache from Apa local government in Benue State.
Emmanuel Otache is a man living with a physical disability brought upon him following a building collapse next to his residence, while his wife, 3 children, and himself were fast asleep.
A building owned by a footballer which played ball in one of the Arab countries, Fatai Biodu Oduntola, in Magodo, Phase 1, Lagos here. The building collapsed on my apartment and killed my pregnant wife and 3 children.
He tells a sad story of how he not only came to lose the use of his legs, but lost 3 children, namely Jummai Bright Otache, 19 years, Dominion, 13, and Daniel, 12 years, with his wife aged 38 and 6 months pregnant at the time of their demises.
My house is very close by here. Around 5:30, I have a call on my phone that it's like the house, my brother, one of my brother here.
5:30 a.m.?
Yeah, a.m. That is like a mass house has collapsed, and they have been calling him. The number was ringing, nobody is picking the call. My area here has been flooded. So I have to jump inside that water and swim outside here. 2 people now followed me inside. They just, because he was still speaking, we just take that risk to enter inside. Then you have to get some things to, so sledgehammer. They think that hook his leg. Have to remove that and pull him out. And somebody came. We begged this man close by here. He gave us his car. Then he himself took us to the hospital.
What about his family, his children and wife?
The children and the wife, all of them are gone. It's only him that survived it.
When they bring excavator to bring us down, they have never knew that we have taken the fence outside. The sound of the hill up, the face now, 4 now block us. when people were thinking that we are still inside, we are already nearby outside. The crowd, the massive of people that came to rescue us, they never know that they are parking their vehicle on top of us. That is the last what I noticed. After spending 7 months in a coma, I haven't heard anything apart from the fact that they are dead. I was told that the Dominion, Adole, and Akoche, which is Dane, the two boys, were buried here in Lagos. Why bride, Jumai, with the mother have taken to Benue State. When Lagos State Emergency Agency, Sama was putting us inside, I was lifeless. Say, this one don't go. There's an iron in my chest here. From my waist down to this my knees, there's an iron there. My molar, up and down, 4 is no more again. You can see my head. You can see like this. There's a wound here.
Emmanuel made several attempts to reach out to the owner of the building that took the lives of his children and pregnant wife, ex-national footballer Fatai Biodun Odutola.
You say, Emmanuel, are you the Emmanuel? You can go to her. Say, I should go to her, or I should go and take a lawyer, that you have a lawyer to stand. That, is he the one that pushed the house down? He is not the one that pushed the house down, that he have lost a lot. And he ended up with speak there, that I should go to her. Ever since then, I don't hear from him again.
Can you describe to us how the house was before now?
Okay, thank you very much. This is a picture of the house before. 2-bedroom flat was at the back. Why? We tenants were at the back, then landlord is at the front. But the very night that the incident happened, the landlord traveled with the children and my neighbor traveled as well. It was me and my children that are home that night where the incident happened, that resulted to the death of my pregnant wife and 3 children.
With the help of some volunteer legal practitioners, Emmanuel approached a few offices, government agencies, ministries and departments, hoping to get whatever help he could muster from them to foot his medical bills and advance other medical interventions towards any hopes of reviving his legs.
As at time of finding this report, none of these agencies has reached out to Emmanuel to advance any form of discussion on his quests for justice and appeal for medical support. A clear case of no one to fight his battles. Homeless, helpless, and physically disabled, Emmanuel looks to the future with little or no glimpse of hope in sight. For News Central, Marshall Anthony Onaya.
All right, and then that's what's going to be our meaty matter for the next couple of minutes. It's a very sad situation. I know a lot of Nigerians, the first thing that we say when things like this occur is, it's not my portion. And God forbid, bad thing. But the truth is that if we don't hold authorities accountable, and you know, all through the time I was watching this report, I was thinking to myself, in civilized climes, he doesn't need to go that far and keep pushing and knocking doors and talking to people who just have, you know, it's automatic. It's like reaching voicemail of someone's number. Oh, you've reached a voicemail of somebody. You stamp it. That's a perfunctory job. You stamp it. Okay, we have received the complaint, but what happens after you've stamped it? What happens after you've received it? This is something that should not be taken lightly. Like I said, in other climes, these are things that are not treated lightly. Do you understand? Do you know the enormity? What he's facing emotionally, what he's facing mentally. This is a man who had, in quotes, Nigerian parlance, grown-up kids. His first child was 19. Huh. His son was 13. And then he lost his wife again, who was 6 months pregnant. How, you see, in Nigeria, we say we stomach a lot, we take a lot, we adapt too much. That's what this man is doing, adapting.
So the fact that he spoke to the owner of the house that collapsed.
Go to hell.
He had the audacity and the temerity to tell him to go to hell. He's not saying you pulled the house down. But you have nothing else to say to a man who lost 3 children, his wife and an unborn child, other than to go to hell. That's one. Right. 2, we also need to work on our rescue operations, because how are they excavating without even being, people use sonar. They use technology to try to find out where the human bodies are, so that they do not maybe compound the situation, and it is a rescue operation rather than it becoming a recovery operation. GNI is still in my mind. The fact that people were sending voice notes and were calling and telling their loved ones, I'm still alive, I'm trapped. But we were already doing recovery. We're not doing rescue. And I think the last thing I'll say on this is, who bears responsibilities for these building collapses? I think that in some of these situations, not some, all of them, there needs to be thorough investigation. If it was that the builders actually did, what would I use? They cut corners and they used faulty material and they used bad material. That should be them being up there for murder. Because you know that this building, it may just be a few years before it comes down. You choosing to cut corners, you choosing to try to siphon money, you using substandard material, is you choosing to put other people's lives at risk. Your life should be on the docket as well.
And this is not emotionally speaking. This is not emotionally speaking at all.
This is Nigeria.
Do you know how many people have died in building collapses? How many people have been held responsible?
There was a time that the rescue was being done here in Lagos State, and they had some of these sophisticated equipment, but there was nobody to operate it. So that means for you to use some of this infrared to even know if, check maybe the...
infrared the one. Is it expensive?
Let it only work, yeah.
So how are you buying equipment that is specialized and you don't go and pay for the training?
And these things about building collapse, well, in fact, I want to say that since these have started happening, I want to commend Lagos State a little, because I know that they have been doing investigation. Even in my father's house in Isolo, I've seen them come to check some of these older buildings and serve some of these houses some documents if they see that there are some faults. Half of the time, the people that cause these things are people that are trying to cut corners here and there. It's either they are not getting their full approval from the government to build to specification. We have seen building collapses that they went to take approval for maybe 3-story building, and they ended up building 7-story building. I am wondering that these people are not magicians. They submitted papers and they did contrary. And sometimes people give their buildings to some of these,
let's not also forget that, even most landlords would rather collect, a list of the material and go by themselves without knowing, the quality of the material as well. It's really sad.
It's sad.
Just hearing how, he remembered his children and called their names, saying 2 were buried in Lagos and 2 were buried, in Benue State. It's so sad. And I kept thinking, what would happen if I was in that situation? Really sad. Like Marshall said, he's homeless, he's incapacitated at the moment, and then he lost his family. I think we need to do a lot. We need to push ourselves further to be able to help this guy.
It will shock you, after a while, someone who's actually watching this report will say that he shouldn't even beat himself up too much, because he can actually start another family.
This is why they say me Nigeria.
You look at the guy, he has iron in his leg. He's not even, he's disabled. He said he spent 7 months in the coma.
Yeah.
So
do you know how mentally destabilized?
He wakes up and his children and his wife were buried without him.
That man is going through a lot
trauma
mentally.
that he's actually going through at the moment. They're saying he should start a family. Is it that easy?
After
he's had the family
already 19
for 20 years, having a family, and then in one moment they're all wiped out.
Yeah, and they say thank God he's a man. Imagine it will shock you. Oh, thank God he's a man. He can always start another family. If it were a woman, what is she going to do now?
And the owner of the building,
it's amazing how whether it's a coping mechanism, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But we do that to say, God will recompensate him. There's always words of prayer when they far from our mouth. There's God will compensate him. Don't worry, he will start a family. He will find somebody who will start again. Whatever. It's a way that we condition ourselves
for the
to
owner
think
of the
and to work
building.
and to progress.
Yes, this is what happens when you put material things over human lives. No sympathy, no empathy. Just okay, you understand that he lost his whole family.
Yes,
you lost a house, a physical building that you can always, you know, buy land and restructure. But for him, he's never seen his family again. At least be empathetic towards him. He's not even saying he needs money, right? But at least try and tell him something, encourage him. You know, don't make him feel like, you know, whatever happens, he's on his own.
Exactly. So said something about accountability and all of that. No one's taking accountability.
No one.
The landlord himself who builds the house is just behaving like a tout. He's behaving like lout. No one's saying anything or calling him to book and say, okay, listen, come in for investigation, we need to do this. And even if we're calling for investigation, what's the guarantee that the investigation will see the light of day and it will not be a few bucks passed under the table and it's business as usual?
That's exactly what will happen.
And that's what's going to keep happening. The building collapses have not stopped.
No.
Sometimes you now see a period of them. This story is, I think, this building collapse, I think, is from 2019. Yes, 2019.
Yeah.
And he's still fighting for justice. I don't even think he's had the opportunity to mourn properly.
No.
Because he hasn't been able to get justice for himself and for the family that he lost. Buildings collapse maybe once a week. There's some we don't hear about because maybe there's no injury, maybe they're in the course of construction. You have to wonder about the substandard materials, about the lives of Nigerians and Lagosians that are put at risk because substandard materials are flooding the market or that somebody wants to cut corners and we're so greedy. We don't think about this job I'm doing, this decision I'm making has these kind of complications and has these potential consequences because my one decision is a decision that can affect lives. Was it not last year? I think we saw 3 celebrities talk about the fact that their POPs fell on them.
Yeah.
And
I know
Zika Noma. That's where you know a building may already be faulty. The POP is falling.
Accountability. What is the landlord? May be the one saying they might bring a breakdown to the landlord and say, okay, this is how much we need for this. And the landlord says, okay, I want to stay away from substandard materials. I need you to get top of the range. And he provides the funds for top of the range. But guess what? Somewhere in the middle, the middleman or whoever, it's a ripple effect. That one now decides that, okay, this is close to the original. It looks like the original. Let's get this one so we can save cost. So, in the hierarchy of how things are done, someone or 2 people should be held accountable.
How?
Like in this one now, this guy has nobody
thing for a
fighting
long time.
for him. He's like the lone voice in a wilderness crying. If we're not highlighting this story, this guy is like a forgotten number.
Yeah.
I'm sure people that lived around will probably have forgotten about him. Because 2019, that's about
COVID. That was right.
6 years or
should have been
so.
right before COVID.
I'm sure there are people who will tell him, Baba, just thank God for your life and move on. It's just how we are in Nigeria.
What does he do? Do we even know what his trade was before this happened? And if he's disabled, you don't even know how he's living, feeding, fending for himself.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And we hope that the spotlight on this story renews those or brings on those who will help Emmanuel fight for justice. And it's not just about him. It's about accountability. It's about making sure that people don't get away with things. And if even in situations that are force majeure, there are acts of God, nobody is to blame, there also has to be empathy in the response.
Yeah.
So even Lagos State, what are you doing? Even the house owner, how dare you? How dare you? How do you equate what you lost as a building to a man who loses his family? No one was necessarily blaming you, but there's an opportunity for you to be an empathetic and humane person, and you lost that. We need to do. There are too many things wrong.
We need to do better. We need to be better.
We need to be better
as a people. Because all this winging it's not going to take us so far. We're just winging it as we go and looking for new ways to adapt into a new reality. And it has happened. What do we do? It is the same thing of everyone being pocket of government onto themselves in this country.
And this Magodo area, a lot of our is a hilly, the complexity of the topography of that area sometimes needs some maybe expert
oversight
if you want to build there. If you are building mushroom houses on hills, you should know that anything can happen, especially people that live in the valley. I've seen some areas in Lagos that if you enter the street, it's like, especially this, what's this place in Ogba? Kiniko.
Okoba.
Oh, no.
But it's in Ogba, Sha.
It's this Ogba area. Some of them, they are living in the valley.
Just take this major road that's down. This whole area is like
living in the valley.
Like
that means if there's anything, you can be very sure that will be a gathering point for a lot of things. So that's why I say that we need to really do better when it comes to building, because lives are involved.
Yeah.
They are at risk. You must follow the protocol. I'm wondering, they even check the soil to be sure that the soil you are building on, the things you are putting on it has the capacity to stay on it.
No.
So when people keep saying, just thank God for your life, thank God you're alive and
yes,
everything.
We do.
How does a man go on living without, his family, people that he actually, spent 20 whole years with, people he has fended for, people he has,
people he
had
has
memories. Loved and had memories, and then it's like most times we're like, okay, well, it doesn't concern me, so I will not involve myself. But then, what if it happens to you?
It says God's will.
What if it happens to you?
God take it. You never hear that one.
Well, we say those things. It's like it's just like what some people say. Sometimes it does not even comfort you. You feel bad because when somebody says, you should be, that means it's like closed shut. They don't expect you to say anything beyond that. So how do you continue to advocate? It feels like you are not thankful you are alive.
And when you say be thankful, it's what the Northerners usually say. Allah ne, so that means God wanted. So when you say that, they expect you to just forget about everything, just hand everything over to God. But then we have more conversations to get into after the break. This is just Siri on a Hot Topics Friday. Stay with us.
You're watching Just Siri on a Hot Topics Friday. We begin today with someone Dashin jokingly calls
Tolu's
son.
It's not a joke.
And I know that every time she says so, Tolu's body is to bite. But, because Tolu is calm and really composed, so Tolu just puts her RBF on and then that's it. All right, so I think there was some level of rejoicing when TikToker Pella seemingly made good on his promise to go back to school, Tolu's son. But we clapped too soon. So what happened? Pella had earlier celebrated gaining admission into university where he was set to study law. Let's see how he announced his admission. I love it.
Hello guys, everywhere in the world that watching me. I go to private university. You go to public university. Is that clear? I pay million. You pay thousand. Is that clear? Shut up. So guys, see, congratulations to me. I got admission to university in Lagos. Educated is not educated. They won't use them to kill me. They won't use them to finish my life. Maybe the 4 person will not go university. Tabayo, Kemasalo, run away. Everybody run, come up for social media. Leave social media, please. Pella don't enter school. Ah! What? Come up for what, though? Now, if you do the challenge, I go to private university, you go to public university, that's clear. I pay million per thousand, is that clear? We read law, you read courtesy, is that clear?
Oh no.
Well, they say don't count your chickens before they hatch. I can see Tolu's face.
Can we please continue?
While people were celebrating him for taking the step of going back to school, it seems that Pella was going through it, as Gen Z would say. Now, just a few days after
2 days actually.
2 days after sharing his admission news, Pella shared that he was struggling to adjust to the academic routine. Now, according to him, he cannot spend about 7 hours in a classroom without making money, describing the experience as frustrating. Let's have a look.
Guys, yeah, I swear to God. I remember I said I go to school, I think next tomorrow, I don't even know. I know they go again, I know they go. It's just the time. I just remember, I was not sitting inside class for like 7 hours. No, they make any money. I go just the write, I go they look, I go they play. No, not making anything. God forbid. How do do that one? As I answered that school, I just everybody don't old. So me, I be the small one, we say young blood. So I need so old. Maybe I don't reach like 30 or 40 years. I will go school. It's just slaves. But I know they do again. No, man, I cancel everything. I beg.
So now he says,
No.
Wait,
Say,
the line is my line.
Say so now, my son says.
So now he says he would rather return to school later in life, possibly in his 30s or 40s. Pella also spoke about the age of his classmates, noting that many of them were older and suggesting that he would prefer to go back to school when he is older himself. While some Nigerians believe he is simply choosing what works for him, others insist that formal education remains non-negotiable, regardless of fame or financial success. And let's quickly take what Nigerians are saying about his educational flip-flop.
Oh, God.
Dropping out after 2 days might feel empowering now, but education builds resilience and knowledge that no viral trend can replace. Nigeria's future depends on skilled professionals tackling real issues like tech innovation or healthcare, not just fleeting fame, rather. Why not pursue both? Hustle smart, not short-sighted. Snaps for that. So-called celebrities, not too funny content creators, and the society has made everything revolve around money-making. Yes, money-making is paramount, but learning that's values, morals, inclusive should come first, or if one can manage, do the two simultaneously, I think. The mindset is a trap. Streaming money is real, but it's also fragile. The algorithm shifts, burnout, scandals, platform rules. One switch and your income shakes. School isn't just class, it's structure, skill, network, credibility, and a backup plan. And everyone is old in school, so what? People start at 18, some at 30, some at 50. Age isn't the issue, direction is. If you can't do full-time, defer. Go part-time, go online, but don't make "I'll return at 40" sound like wisdom. Build your bag and build your brain. Snaps. Last one we'll take. It will be very difficult for Pella to concentrate in classes. He should apply for a distance learning where he will be attending interactive sections if he wishes. Most of his classes will be online. I applied for mine last year, even though it's still a bit stressful for me. It's still far better than full-time university as a working class. He can also employ a private lecturer as Odogo Way in B to help make learning easier for him. Because of time, that's all we're going to. Should I go first?
It actually sounds like you. The last reaction sounds like what we actually said on this table, what Tolu has said, and the advice that we gave.
I want to hear from you.
Why would you go straight to university? Like,
it's
how?
a day at all. Money coming together with young age. And I keep talking, me and my husband have the conversation about him a lot. Where is his family? But then because he became the breadwinner in the family probably has, who is the team around him? He does not have good people who are actually thinking about his future in the long term. He doesn't have a good support system.
Doesn't even have a wife.
The fact
is tired in advance.
No, I can't lie to you. I find the young man very overwhelming because no matter what there's something called about stages in life.
Yes.
Life is in seasons. Whether we like it or not. At least 3 of us have had children on this table. No matter how you love your child, I love that as a baby. But she didn't grow up to be almost 21 in one day. It took a process. It took... So, English. It's acting as if he has nobody in his life. I have never seen any figure that represents a management, proper one. And if you're managing a child, any management that has sense will look at history, look at how child prodigies have failed. And as a manager, I think you will take a cue from that and learn what were the pitfalls, what made them not succeed. Hollywood is rife with failed prodigy stories.
Think about some of the young kids.
When I was listening to Toby Makine's interview some time ago, he said after he became a childhood star, he felt like, it was going to translate into adulthood. And it didn't happen that way. So this young man has to know that, you see, all these things that seem to work for this generation,
or this time
that they're in, is fleeting. Half of the time, the people that say they listen to this young man and make him a star.
What does he do on the streams?
I respect them and I respect their choices, but I do not know.
Which one of us has listened to his stream?
No.
If any of our producers has actually listened to a Pella stream for 5 minutes or watched it, please send me a WhatsApp right now. Because
I don't know what he does.
What does any of them do actually? Not just
the few times
why won't you know what your son does?
I have quickly scrolled.
I was just across this table dashing. If you keep trying me, have you seen Korede?
No, I agree.
My daughter, she's budding. But she has changed her Instagram handle to Fimi Talks History and Politics. Because If you see her discuss Versailles with me, I'll say,
The Treaty of Versailles.
what happened? She said, Mommy, do you know about the treaty? She's doing China Kiniko for a project. She said, I don't want anybody to help me. I want to do it myself. Mommy is so interested. And I'm looking at her like, China investment.
She said what she wants to say.
They both have,
waiting for us.
they both have different backgrounds, right? And, you know, I just want us to, like, make a pact on this table because it seems like we're actually validating him.
No.
He's not your son. He's not your grandson.
Don't near me.
He's not your nephew, right? So, I'm just,
He's not apparently your
he's not my brother.
If we're looking at the hierarchy.
So can this be the last time we actually talk about him? Because, like she said, he's overwhelming. I do not find him appealing at all. Like, this guy just chases clout anyhow, any way he can.
I'll take you on
I'm going
one
to shock
thing.
you people.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I'm going to shock you people. He will be here as a Hot Topics guest.
The day he comes here, if he can do us the honors of coming into the studio, because sometimes
it feels like
the people that need to guide
him.
you don't necessarily have to be your parents. I know how many people have held my hands over the years and taught me different things.
Everything
that I didn't learn from
The boy is disrespectful. He's
So
unfair.
let me say something about Dashin's request, and I'll say this because one of the reasons I took this story, you know, I was avoiding the stories. This particular issue of schooling and the money that young people are able to make on social media, it's not just him. It's just that his is in the spotlight.
Yeah, because
there are many of them who are choosing not to go to school. After they finish secondary school, what does school want to afford for them?
Did he even finish secondary school?
I'm not sure he did.
I don't think
but I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't tell you. But they're choosing that because they're able to make this quick money. Instagram is paying them. Twitter is paying them. I don't know about Twitter. TikTok is paying them. Even if you're not paying the same amount you're paying those in the West.
Yeah.
So they're seeing this quick fame. They're seeing this quick money that come in. And that they're not working for. So you have a generation that is looking at us as like, you guys, your careers, you took 10 years to blow. Or you took 10 years for your career. We don't have to. One viral moment on so-and-so will take me to the stratosphere.
Like the last viral moment he had when Speed came to Nigeria and he said he bought a car and he shot back at Nigerians saying, yes, so keep making me viral. I'll be making so much money. It is the money that I made from this that helped me buy this car.
Everything everybody said in the reactions was spot on.
Yeah.
It's fleeting. It's like trading in stock market.
Yeah.
It's fleeting. If you don't know how to read the room, it's like being on a permanent, there's a skipping rope going and you always have to gauge when to enter so that you don't get tangled in the skipping rope. Anything can change just like that.
Anything.
Right now, he's on a high, And
it's addictive.
And it's addictive. So now you feel as if that you don't need school. But school, you don't understand what it gives.
Not just
One of the reactions. Someone said you need organization. You need
discipline.
You need discipline. And you need to build something to fall back on, including resilience.
And you know the other thing, he talked about being in school. He now said the school should let him stream while he's doing online. And then, are you all right? Are you like really okay?
And then you should go and study Yoruba linguistics.
And then who is giving him admission for law?
Why would he be doing that?
He said private university. Which private university? We want to know.
Who is giving Pella admission for law?
Study Yoruba linguistics.
You know, sometimes
he will probably blow everybody out of the water.
You know, sometimes also these universities don't help matters. They will even confer him. It won't shock me.
We have somebody standing by. That's why, unfortunately, I have to cut the lady short on this. We have a special guest who's joining us right now. She has vibes check. She has beauty check. She has, what else? She's smart check. She's beautiful check. She fits the Jasiri standard, and she's going to be with us right after the break. So stick around to find out which one of Nollywood's finest is here. Stay with us.
All right, welcome back to Jasiri. As you can see, our Hot Topics guest is unveiled. She's the darling of TV screens and an absolute joy to be around. So it's our pleasure to welcome Omowunmi Dada, who is in the studio with us this morning.
Thank you all for having me.
Omowunmi, there's no time. I would love to sit and chat, but let's just dive straight into the meaty matter. First off, I have to say congratulations. Why? And that's because you made it to being a cast, part of the cast for the wives, the Secret Life of Baba Segi's wives. I grew up listening to this, and everybody that talked about it, there's just something mischievous about this. So it's coming back to the big screens. How does that feel for you, and how did you make it to be
honestly so super excited about it. So funny enough, Emmy had told me about it in 2019 when she first got the rights to make it, and she was like, "Omowunmi, see, I just got and you're going to play this X character for me," and I was like, "Yay!" You know, we all know the book, and I have also seen the stage play, so I was really looking forward to it. And then something happened. If was supposed to make it, Normally, I always call Emmy every Christmas. I mean, it's other times of the year, but Christmas, I'll call her, Emmy, Mama, Happy Merry Christmas, and all that. But this year, I was so tired. If I didn't even have a voice, because I'd been shooting all day, all month, so I was so sick. She called me on the 26th. I'm like, Emmy beat me to it. I'm like, "Hi, Mama." I'm like, "Oh, my darling, what's with me? By the way, next year we have something we're working on." 2 days later, she sends me a message. "Mom, we picked one of these 2 dates. I want to have a meeting with you." I say, "What's going on?" Only want me to get to her office. Of course, G said our mother-daughter, G's. And then she was like, "Yeah, back to work. We're finally doing Secret Lives." I was like, "Ah!" I was like, "You are still going to be my XYZ." Tell us. You're still going to be my XYZ. So it's really exciting for me, you know, because this is, I always like adaptations, especially for big stories like this that have traveled around the world. So being someone to embody roles and like a role that people know, literally, I am so excited about it.
So, pause, because I'm changing things around. We don't have a lot of time.
No, Omowunmi.
No, wait, she said she's coming back.
Not
So
Omowunmi.
wait, you got your promise to come back in March. Please say it on TV.
Yes, that's what I wanted her to say.
So you're telling us you're coming back in
March.
Let her say
let her
it.
say it by herself.
Hi everyone, I am the Omowunmi, and I give you my word that come March 2026, I will be back on Just Series.
Oh, fantastic. We'll still continue. So one other thing is also congratulations. I'm hearing that your first movie production is also coming out as well.
Well, come March, come March 27th, all over Nigeria in cinemas. Evie will be in the cinemas, and I'm one of the executive producers.
So what took you from not just being, because you're in the movie as well, not just being in front of the camera, to this back and behind the scenes, making it happen kind of situation?
Funny enough, it's not the first time I'm being an executive producer on a project. So it gets to a point where you know that, yes, you love acting, but it also makes sense to be part of the people that actually make the story happen, come to life. And you know, there are so many things. There's having production, there's having the finance to make the film happen, there's a creative part of it and all of that. So for someone like me who is extremely passionate about storytelling, especially African stories to the world, when I saw the script, I was like, ooh, I have to jump on it, not just as an actor, but you know,
putting
working
your money
together
behind it as well
to make it
support.
happen. No, it's not about the money alone. How many money I have? Me, I'm still struggling.
Choose your struggle.
Let's stay in the social media and entertainment space, right? Moving to a conversation
we got to get you on a story.
Over and over on this table. Now, social media and fake news was once again in the spotlight in a situation that involved Nigerian musician Zlatan, right, and his family. Now, Zlatan had to debunk a report that went viral concerning his relationship with the mother of his children. And the claim, which circulated widely online, suggested that the singer had vowed never to marry his baby mama or even partner, you know, despite having children together. So the post, you know, which has 1.3 million views, said that Zlatan's wife was in tears as Zlatan Ibile said that he will never marry her despite having 2 kids for him. Wow. Now, what could be the reason? Because there was a picture of the couple and their kids, as well as a supposed screenshot of Zlatan answering a fan on Instagram. Now, let's take a look at the original post.
So it says she's the mother of my kids, but she's not my wife yet. So now Zlatan has come out to debunk the post that went viral. He said, and I quote, "You all know I hate to shalaye, but if you're still one of those who can't differentiate or confirm before you engage in a gender post in 2026, you don't deserve to have internet on your phone. This is fake. Banga boy, your time is coming soon." End quote.
But the page that posted the fake news has issued an apology. The person said, and I quote, "I'm sorry. The screenshot I posted was fake. I used it to push a false narrative about you. And that was wrong and unfair. I had no business spreading lies about your personal life. I hurt you, caused you unnecessary drama. I was completely wrong. I'm sorry." End of quote. But should it be too late to apologize? The incident has reignited conversations around misinformation, social media responsibility, you should see Mommy's face, and the impact of these false narratives on public figures.
Let's leave the reactions. We have a reaction in the studio.
We have a reaction.
Yeah. Omowunmi, so I'll ask you, have you been the subject of fake news, fake rumors?
No.
So is it initiating right? Is it like a rite of passage? If it doesn't happen...
I don't want to be part of such. This is so sad. You know, they say perks of being a celebrity, but it shouldn't actually be this way. Funny enough, this is the first time I'm hearing this. I'm just hearing this for the first time. You see, for me, social media is just work. I go there, post my work, and I leave. I don't try to pry into people's private lives, except I know you personally. I get to have like relationships with you. I almost don't believe anything on social media because, for example, if I travel to the UK today, I won't post that I'm going today. In fact, sometimes I'm back from my trip before I say I'm on my way. So I always say, believe social media at your own risk. Yes. But for someone to sit down behind their phones and type something this devious about someone and his family, this is extremely cruel.
Is the apology enough? Because as I was looking at this, I wanted to start singing Timberland and what was it, One Republic. Too late to apologize. Is the apology enough? The initial had 1.3 million views.
That's a lot. Had this guy not come out, if you had decided that, okay, I'm just going to leave it that way, that's how that narrative will fly forever. So every time you Google him...
I'm wondering because a lot of people have done this a lot in recent times. Do you think that somebody should have the temerity or the effrontery to take them to court and stay there? I know that another actress was in this
Mercy Johnson, she dropped the case after the apology.
And she dropped the case after the person apologized.
So many times.
There has been Burna Boy has been at it with this young man a lot of times. Do you think we should actually prosecute if these kinds of things happen? Or when Nigeria say, yeah, bigger than this, leave them?
I think all of this is defamation of character and it is a crime. So let's allow the law to do the right thing, to do justice. It's like when we say, oh, someone rapes a child and we forgive the person. If you know that if you rape a child, you're going to be, this thing is going to cut off, you're going to be circumcised, you would understand that when there is there's a sin, there are consequences right there in your face. You would think twice before saying something this funny about someone. It's very, very, it doesn't
remember when they said it about that gospel artist that her son looked like Nathaniel Bassey.
Yes.
He was shocking.
So I worry about people. So there are two things I want us to take from what the guy said. The guy apologized, but he said, I used it to push a false narrative. And because he wants to make money. He's making money from the views.
That was like the first thing I said, this is cruel.
Money. It's cruel. And then Zlatan mentioned Banger Boy. So there's actually a group of young Nigerian men on X in particular that are known as Banger Boys. And so what they do is, I think sometimes either a woman can post anything or it can be a relationship thing, and they just enter that place in droves. I always remind you guys of the story recently from last year. The lady who posted her picture, the guy came and said, oh, is it not you that we know? That everybody has slept with you in university, that you did this and you did this. The husband had him arrested. Now people started begging. It was all right.
I think we do that a lot.
So let me not add the dimension that is new now. Remember we were talking about the AI-generated images of Aya Star. So they're using Grok on X to take clothes off of women. They've done it to Bloody Samaritan. They've done it to Bloody Civilian, I beg your pardon. To Aya Star. This morning we're hearing now they did it to Burna Boy's mom. So at the end of the day, if there's no one who bears consequences, I'll send it to the group. Burna Boy's mom. If no one bears consequences, They don't know. So the boy that did it at your star, he was arrested recently. Everybody say, oh no, she should forgive him. She should forgive him. He's a student. What a student? You do not know the difference between right or wrong, even as a student. Why are you telling Grok to tell Grok to naked a woman?
Okay. That's extremely crazy.
So I think I like Omowunmi because she doesn't even know what's happening on social media.
I love it for you.
I love it. I am very, very intentional about my sanity and my peace. I'm a very absorbent and emotional person. I can see something online and I'll start crying. So I know. So many times I've seen that things affect me, they get to me, they make me. So I'm like, I'm very intentional about my peace. I post my thing, look through some of my people, and that's it. I move on to real life. I move on to living as Omowunmi Dada, the human being, relating with the people that are in my life. You know, if you send me a DM, I always check my DM, by the way.
And she answers DMs, because actually I've been chasing you since last year. But Lola brought you, so we're fine.
Thank you, the queen acknowledges.
But in all of this, at the end of the day, I think one of the biggest concerns is that people seem to just think it's just bants.
It cannot be
it's just, I can wake up and just say whatever I want.
No,
and you should not hold me because it's social media.
This person has decided to mess with
it's okay to have an opinion.
Oh, you don't buy market.
It be like say, you don't buy bad market.
The burner one, I mean.
No, Mrs. Ogulu doesn't play like that.
He doesn't play about his mother.
I keep advocating, I as a person, they know on this table that I keep advocating for some kind of regulation on social media.
I was about to say
because
that.
Oh, you agree with that?
Somebody can profit off a lie.
Yeah.
I don't think the person has
that work,
right.
Not just regulations.
I don't think
in
the person
theory.
has a moral right to earn off a lie.
So why do you agree with regulation? Very quickly.
Why do I agree with regulation? Because at some point we have to get to a point where there are checks and balances. How can it make sense that you want to make money of defaming someone else's real life? You know, the thing is, celebrities are human beings as well. We have family members. We have blood flowing in our veins. If you prick us, we will bleed. So you can't slap me and tell me not to feel the pain, because if I slap someone else on the street, they feel the pain. So to do that to someone, they will be hurt. And you cannot say because I'm a celebrity, my skin should be thicker than yours, or my hurt is different. No, it can't be. So at some point, we need to regulate it. Even AI, how far can it go? Especially when it comes to defaming someone else.
I hate the conversation will continue. She has said it on air. She's coming back in March, and she doesn't have any excuse to give us. But thank you so much. I know even in the struggle of traffic and the rain, the massive rain this morning, you still made it to the table. Thank you so much, Omowunmi. And that's how we're going to wrap things up. We'll see you guys on Monday morning, bright and early at 10 a.m. We're already lining up the week with some fantastic conversations, and I hope that we've earned the privilege of your time today. We'll see you guys on Monday. Bye for now.
Bye.